Mind filling us in on what's being referred to as the Crunchwrap tile?
Absolutely. I always love to get to do a little show and tell. So we've got thousands of these heat shield tiles covering Starship. Now they're kind of all next to each other. There's a small gap in between all of them. You got to leave a little bit of space as that metal underneath will expand and contract. That way they don't crunch into each other and start breaking. However, that lets some of that plasma kind of seep through, and we see really high heating on the sides and then down on the metal. To help fix that, we have this, the Crunchwrap that everyone has heard about. So we take essentially that's called Vulcan felt that we then wrap around. And so as these tiles are next to each other, you've got a small bit in between that's going to help offset that heating. It's just one of the ways we're continuing to iterate on this heat shield, getting towards rapid reusability. Hopefully it's going to help Starship live Moss. Everything is just going to get us to that end state of a fully and rapidly reusable vehicle. So pretty much the entire vehicle has those on it today. We've done this on multiple Starships previously, but this time pretty much the whole vehicle has it. So that was special for today. All right, enough heat shield tiles. Let's go quick check-in on the pad. So if you did notice, we did shift our T0 just a little bit. We're now counting down to 6:23 and 41 seconds Central Time. We shifted a little bit as we were working to finish clearing the range. We are monitoring sea and air space, both here over the Gulf and in our splashdown location over on the Indian Ocean. We were working with the FAA, a lot of other international agencies to coordinate all of this. Good news, range is currently green. We're able to get everything out of the way that we are tracking in the Gulf. So weather status, I don't even really need to do, not a cloud in the sky, beautiful day, no probability of violation for launch at this point. We're not currently tracking any issues on the vehicle or the pad. You can see our fill levels are getting up there. We're almost completely done with our propellant loading. We've gone through all of our checkouts so far this morning, aligning our guidance, navigation, and control system, getting the vehicles ready for prop load, the farm. Everything has gone pretty smoothly so far. We got through our go, no go for prop load. That happens at T-minus 1 hour and 15 minutes. We've been loading fuel and locks on board the ship since about 53 minutes before launch. Booster started just about 10 minutes after that. We continue loading prop until just around 3 minutes before liftoff. And then at that point, we'll be ready to go. So bottom line at the moment, we're looking real good. Again, 6:23 and 41 seconds. Hi, guys. Time is our target T0. So we're going to keep counting down.
You're welcome. News so far. Thank you, Dan. And we do say it repeatedly because it's important to understand that these flight tests are all about the data. Data helps us build and fly faster until we're eventually ready to fly people and cargo at scale to Mars. That is our foundational mission and basically the inspiration for our work here every day.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Amanda. And our first missions to the Red Planet are just down the road, and we recently shared some exciting news. Starship cargo flights to the Martian surface for research, development, and exploratory missions begin in 2030. And we already have our first customer.
Yeah, exactly. Starship is open for business, and one of the first payloads will be provided by the Italian Space Agency. They recently signed a first-of-its-kind agreement to carry Italian experiments on the initial Starship missions that deliver customer payloads to Mars. In related news, Starship cargo flights to the surface of the Moon for research, development, and exploratory missions will start in 2028. So a ton of Starship activity to look forward to. And if you'd like to learn more about our mission to making humanity multiplanetary, go ahead and visit spacex.com/Mars. Okay, now as we get closer to launch, development continues down here at Starbase, Texas, to shape this growing city into a truly unique place to live and work. And part of being a city, particularly one surrounded by nature, is environmental stewardship. That's right. The nearby Boca Beach dunes have unfortunately been eroding at an alarming rate for some time. So SpaceX is teaming up with Cameron County and the city of Starbase to stop that erosion and hopefully preserve the beach for years to come.
Yeah, and as one of its first permanent residents and someone who's actually called Starbase home for over 3 years now, I can tell you the beach totally adds to the uniqueness and awesomeness of living here. Starbase is truly unlike any other place on Earth. Where else can you see the world's biggest rocket every single day?
Yeah, Starbase is definitely the place to be, and we're always looking for more people to come help build the future of spaceflight.
Yeah, particularly engineers, especially for our propulsion and mechanical system teams.
You could be working on tests just like these ones, proving out the designs of our next generation Super Heavy booster. Fun fact, we actually tested the booster to 13,400 tons of thrust, which is more than the power of 3.5 Saturn V rockets. which is just crazy. We're also looking for civil and structural engineers to help literally build the future.
Whether it's buildings like the Gigabays currently going up at both Starbase and the Cape, each is a massive vertical integration and assembly facility with over 700,000 square feet of workspace. Both sites are currently in progress, actually going vertical as we speak. Or you could be designing the Starship launch sites of the future. There's really no shortage of future to build here. So visit spacex.com/careers to see all of our openings if you're interested.
Okay, now as we head into terminal count, all eyes are on the rocket. Dan, how are we looking? Are we green?
Amanda, we are so green. Everything's still looking really good. So we've got a green range, not tracking any blockers there to launch. We're continuing to load prop on board the vehicle. We're just
they have never disappointed me in huge explosions. So yeah, but the catch,
again, just about 3 minutes and 20 seconds before liftoff. We'll close out on ship, and then booster just about 30 seconds later.
And I saw it. Did you guys see like on the
11 million pounds of liquid propellant
on the wings, like all these crazy dots?
After we're fully loaded on the vehicle, the pad itself gets ready for launch. We do what's called pushbacks. We clear all that prop out of the lines in the tower.
Black dots. Have you guys seen those?
Feed system back into the tanks to get ready for launch. And then in the next couple of minutes, we're going to do our final GNC guidance, navigation, and control system alignment. We're going to arm the automatic flight safety system. And then we're going to do final kind of wiggle checks on the steering for the engines, which we might be able to catch a quick peek at as we get closer to those. If we need to hold, which we are not currently tracking a reason to, that would happen at T-minus 40 seconds. It's built into our countdown. We can pause and wait there for any final checkouts, anything that we need to hold for.
Once we pass that T-minus 40 seconds, a number of events will occur.
I miss doing this.
The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, and ship switches to internal power. After that, the quick disconnect arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction shortly after T0. Now, once we pass T-minus 40 seconds, if any problems come up, we do still have the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened and then see
if I can find a picture of them somewhere. I saw dots earlier.
Yep. However, once the water for the deflector system begins flowing at T-minus 10 seconds, any issue after that would be
I always feel like
for the day, as teams
if I can do it, I'm running in and scrambling last minute. This is totally an unprepared line, but I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it.
All right, we are coming up on 3 minutes away from launch. You can see the frost line all the way up. We just closed out prop load onto the ship booster coming up shortly.
I saw them earlier, and I wasn't familiar with them. Hey, T.
Yeah, in about 10 seconds, we'll finish loading prop on the booster, and then again, we'll have about 11 million pounds of that liquid oxygen, liquid methane on board.
But I would make a live for that.
Not currently tracking a reason to hold at T-minus 40. It can pop up at the last moment or after we pass that
like
gate.
A dot
we can always
matrix?
hang out there for a couple of minutes.
I mean, they were sort of
if
like
we
a
need
pattern
to.
of some kind.
We do have some extra time. We're not constantly topping off the propellant in these vehicles, so we have about a 7-8 minute window where we can wait
That's what I offer.
For any final issues to clear. We're not currently tracking a reason to hold there. Again, our range continues to be green. As we look at sea and airspace, both out over the Gulf and in our re-entry zone out
dots are just heat tiles on the leading side, but they look different. No? Am I crazy?
All right, 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go. A lot of things on tap for Flight 11. Planned to be the last launch of this version of Starship and Super Heavy. Once again, we're really focused on getting ship over to re-entry. Once we get to that phase, we're going to dive in. There's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be happening on our way back through and down to the ground, hopefully out in the Indian Ocean. Minute 45. Should hopefully be seeing. There's a quick wiggle check. Checking out the thrust vector control, the steering on the booster. We use those inner 13 engines. Doing their one final dance before the big show.
I mean, we all hope Stephen is wrong, but Stephen is probably not wrong.
And we'll do that one more time after we cross that T-minus 40 gate.
Shame, Stephen. Tiled? Okay.
All right, range continues to be green.
Okay, guys.
Still not tracking any issues on vehicle or pad. 1 minute to go. As a reminder, we can hold at T minus 40. We're not planning to. All right. We're through T minus 40. Let's listen in. Flight Director Ty Huntington back in the seat. Take us through the final seconds.
Can you imagine what this is going to be like when there are people on it, you guys? Can you even imagine? Can you even imagine? Okay. Being more calm.
T-minus 10, 9.
Yeah, no, 8, thank you, please. No
7,
RUDs here.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
Thanks, Starship. Go, 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 go.
Vehicles pitching downrange. Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
Booster and ship, nominal power and telemetry.
All right, we are about 45 seconds into flight. We're still getting the rattle here at Star Factory. We are seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on Super Heavy as it arcs across the Gulf. Coming up next on Max Q.
Come on, come on, come on.
Max Q.
So at this point, we've passed through that period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. The next thing we're looking forward to is going to be hot staging. So we've got 33 out of 33 Raptors lit. Super Heavy makes its way uphill. Hot staging is going to be coming up over a minute. At that point, we're going to see all but 3 of those Raptor engines on Super Heavy shut down. Our version of MECO. Most engines cut off instead of main engine.
I think someone might get the jellyfish right now.
And then after that, we're going to release the clamps that are currently holding Starship to that hot stage adapter. It's then going to ignite its 6 Raptor engines to push it away from Super Heavy and then start making its flight uphill. So in about 30 seconds, we're going to see the engines start to shut down on Super Heavy. You'll see them kind of shut off in separate banks until we've just got those 3 center engines that never stop running for this process.
Look at this, you guys. Look at this.
Raptors. All right. MECO coming up in about 10 seconds. See the engines throttling down.
Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot my phone, you guys. BRB.
Ship ignition.
Stage separation.
Use backburn startup.
Okay, okay.
All right, successful hot staging maneuver. So we've got 12 of the 13 engines lit back up on boosters, so it's doing its boost back. Real excitingly, though, we've got 6 out of 6 Raptors lit on ship there, so it's now going to continue to make its ascent into outer space. Meanwhile, this boost back is happening.
Like it's
We're using those 13 engines, so everything, 12 out of the 13, and then
I used
go
to be
down
so
to 3, and then
jealous
we're going
of
to
the
shut
Apollo
down
era,
for
and now I'm
the
like,
end of boost back.
I'm all right.
That's sending Super Heavy back towards its planned splashdown zone in the Gulf.
One of ship's engines was out?
Right after we finish this boost back burn, we're also going to separate the hot stage. This will be the final time that we're doing this. All right, there's the end of the boost back burn. You should be seeing the hot stage. So the hot stage separates. It's going to make its way down, also splash down in the Gulf. In the meantime, though, these 6 ship Raptors are going to continue firing for about 5 more minutes. Next up for the booster, though, is going to be its landing burn. There's a cool tracking shot. We dumped some of the prop out on our way back in. All right, so for booster, this is one of the main things we're trying to get is going to be this landing burn. Oh, that's so you can see the hot stage kind of making its way towards the left side. So that's the bottom of the booster. It's about to pass right in front of where you can see some of that prop dump happening. They look like they're close together, but there's a good amount of distance between them, and the hot stage will go down and splash down in the Gulf while the booster comes back for its landing burn.
Awesome. I feel like I'm watching Space Cirque du Soleil. It's so hypnotic.
Starship is on nominal trajectory.
All right. Looking good on our trajectory, looking good on everything. Jake and Amanda, you guys with me down there?
Yeah, definitely. The crowd is gathering over here in the office. You can definitely feel the energy in here. Great to see that booster is making its way down to the splashdown zone in the Gulf.
Yeah, the shaking down here was absolutely nuts. The windows are still there, still intact. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, booster's coming down. We're at about 30 kilometers. All right, yeah, and as we approach that landing, just like tower catches, we will be doing a 13-engine landing burn to slow down.
They do such a good job. I mean, I gotta hand it to SpaceX, like the angles, guys, the angles.
And as we're starting to get into the denser part of the atmosphere, the booster is using 4 hypersonic grid fins to guide itself through atmospheric entry towards its landing site.
And we're just about 20 seconds away from landing burn start, where we'll first ignite the center 13 engines, then bring that down to 5 to slow down the booster for landing. And finally, that will come down to 3, and we'll cut all of them off while we're still about 200 meters in the air. So booster is going to see a bit of a...
No, Marcazilli catch, just do it. You can do it. Oh my goodness.
Booster landing burn shutdown.
And there we heard it. Booster landing burn shutdown. We saw a 13 to 5 to 3 V3 demonstration. And into the water we go. Wow, that was absolutely
obligatory, exciting.
You can even hear us right now. Congrats to the whole SpaceX team. So far, so good for today. That was incredible.
All right, great stuff, guys.
Meanwhile, back in space.
I'm jealous of the crowd. All right, back to ship. Ship still making its way. We've got a little under 2 minutes left in this ascent burn. So we've got all 6 Raptor engines still firing. So the next major milestone we're going to be looking for is SECO.
Now they have like the
second stage engine cutoff. That's should be coming right at about 8 minutes and 58 seconds into flight. So we've got about 1:20 still to go. Really cool to see booster go through that landing burn. That was one of our really key demonstrations we wanted to try and do today. Is that's mimicking what we're going to be hopefully doing. Oh, we just got our sonic boom. Sounds like from the booster.
I heard that. Did you guys hear that?
Back. All right, less than a minute to go. So we are going to see the 3 RVACs, the vacuum optimized engines, shut down first, and then we'll shut down those 3 center engines. So we should be.
I guess they know what they're doing
until SECO. Just a reminder: this is putting us into a suborbital trajectory, so we're intentionally just going slow enough that we're not going to achieve full orbit. This puts us on a course.
So I thought it was like outside my house.
Shut off, and no matter what, we're coming back.
Starship is in terminal guidance.
In the Indian Ocean. All right, terminal guidance. So we should start seeing the shutdowns come up in
just a couple
seconds. Less than 30 seconds to go.
I feel like that would be easier. No? Am I crazy? I'm like, you guys have like 1 million drones. We can't do like a buoy cam in the Gulf? Come on.
All right, RVACs have shut off. 3 more to go.
Ship engine cutoff.
Also, if like aliens were watching us, can you imagine just what it must look like where we're just constantly shooting stuff out of our planet, back into our planet, out of our planet, back into our
planet.
All
ship raptors have shut
nominal
down.
orbit insertion.
What's happening over there?
You just heard nominal orbital insertion, so we are on the path that we wanted to be. So we've got a ship back in space, a whole lot planned for it, lots more still to come. Great seeing Super Heavy make its way to the water, but I'm excited to see what ship can do in space. How's everybody doing down there?
Oh wait, no. Are these aren't the dots? Are these? No. These look like
yeah, if you could hear the crowd behind us this whole time, people are definitely happy with how the day's been panning out so far. Definitely exciting to see Starship safely in space, and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action.
And that's what I'm picturing. They're just looking like,
guaranteed it at the start of the show, but it has been an awesome day so far. It's
crazy.
Back in their ocean. All this has happened in just 10 minutes. All the objectives were met on the booster, including that V3 style landing burn. So now all eyes are on the ship as we get ready for our in-space objectives. But we've got a few minutes until that next milestone, so sit tight, enjoy the views, enjoy the space jams. We'll be back at T plus 16 minutes for payload deploy.
So they said they're going to come back in 16 minutes. Is that what they said? Have we listened to these tunes? Well, today I feel like they needed a buoy cam. No? You're right. They're like, these guys still riding explosions into space. Amateur. They're so cute. They're so adorable humans. I mean, yeah, we'd all be millionaires. Well, what do you want me to just keep this? Let's say they're going to come back in 16 minutes, right? So should I kind of put it on mute and come back in like 16 minutes? Just let the video feed play? What would you guys like? Yeah. I had put it in my calendar, like somewhat to be prepared, just in case I would be around. So, and it wasn't at like a weird time. You know, sometimes part of the reason I can't, music is distracting. Part of the reason sometimes that I can't always stream these is because they are at weird times. So that's what actually worked. Stephen, what do you think I'm drinking? Giant tea. Peppermint tea this time, not green. Stay active. Yeah. Can we 2x this? What do you think? Can we 2x? All right, I'll put their music back on a little bit. You're watching. That would be a big cup of coffee. I have actually a really pathetic caffeine tolerance. So yeah, that much coffee, I'd be shaken. When's your next? What do you mean, Andrew? You mean a YouTube video? You mean like opera movies? What do you mean? I keep unmuting this and then I find it too distracting, so I have to mute it again. I mute it over here too. Okay. It is spectacular. Yeah, so I think last time I left this going and then I just popped back in like 15 minutes. Wish I could do that. Yes, sprightly peppermint. That's what I was feeling. Well, it's almost 5 o'clock here where I am, so yeah, I definitely can't be rocking the caffeine anymore. Not that I could to start with. I buy, like, you know how everything is pumpkin spice latte right now, season? I buy a pumpkin spice latte because I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. And I don't know if I've ever finished one. I drink about a third of it, half of it, and then I have to get rid of it because that's a latte, has too much caffeine for me. Which latest professional actor project get released? Good question. So the movie that I did in Mississippi about a year ago now, I know is completed and they are looking for their premiere. So they're looking for the ideal film festival for them to premiere. So I know that is happening. The movie that I did in the end of May, I think, is not finished yet, as far as I know. And so those are the updates. Well, it's funny you ask, Pick. Yeah, maybe I might be making another video about this. It's not 100%, but I might have a busy December. So I might be gone again a little bit in December, but just a little bit. So, but I don't want to jinx it. Where's the knock on wood? But yes, potentially. I mean, that is, guys, if I had a nickel for every time a part has been edited down, edited out. I remember one time I did an episode of this Nickelodeon TV show, which I'm blanking on the name of right now. And I shot it, super fun, silly show, but very fun. Told everybody about it. I was like, tonight's the night, guys. Everyone tune in. Posted about it all on my Facebook. And then it aired and I was completely cut out of it. I only had one scene, but I was completely cut out of it. And they were like, oh, we didn't see you. And I was like, yeah, because I wasn't there. So yeah, that happens, definitely. She's good. I have a video of her. We had a little bit of a late heat wave, like a late September heat wave. And I took a cute video of her that I need to edit and post with you guys. But she's good. So I Googled how long squirrels live. It's not long. So I don't know. Sometimes I get sad. So I'm like, someday Fiona's not going to be there because they actually have like really short lives. But I'm trying not to think about it too much. But she does still show up all the time and demands walnuts all the time. Yeah, I'm excited. It's tricky. I'm excited, but I'm now very trained to not believe it's happening until you're actually on set. And I don't know, just don't count your chickens before they're hatched kind of thing, because man, I've been so burned over the years. So yeah, I am cautiously excited. So yeah, we shall see. Let me turn music back on real quick and see where they're at. Oh, they're talking. Hang on.
The nose cone, essentially the payload area of Starship, as we get ready to open up this payload door. We were able to do this successfully for the very first time.
Yeah, I mean, that is
on our last
happened so much. So much, Andrew, you would not believe.
Hal got ahead of me. Looks like he's opening up the payload door already.
Thanks, T. Yeah. I feel like attitude is everything.
All right, looks like we got the door.
Okay,
open.
maybe we're back. Oh, did you? Oh, I must have missed it when I was rambling. Ugh, I hope not. I feel like there's a lot to be learned in that.
All right, so payload door is open. Next up, going to be to start deploying these Starlink simulators. They are roughly the same size as the V3 Starlink satellites that Starship's going to be carrying. That's going to add some pretty crazy capacity. We'll run through the numbers in a little bit. We were able to do this for the very first time ever on our last flight, and so this will be another test. We made a couple of tweaks to the rails for deploying this based off of what we saw last time, but excited to see these get out the door. Our next iteration of Starship's also going to have a more powerful.
Oh, is this? We're doing Pez dispenser? Are we doing Pez dispenser, guys?
A little bit faster speed, but looking to see our next demonstration of this. Hopefully, in the next couple of seconds, we should start seeing them move out the door.
In a scene, who's Pam Dauber? I don't know who that is.
I mean, that view on your left, so you're basically that would be if you were sitting at the very top of the nose cone looking down. So there's kind of a short stack.
Oh,
there's
she's
on either side.
She's more convincing.
Total.
Yeah?
When we start flying
awesome.
Starlinks for their actual deploy missions, we're going to be carrying stacks of about 60. So much larger stack once we start flying these operationally, but still doing a little bit of a short just for this payload deployed today.
I mean, sure. I mean, I would love to do any of that. I don't live anywhere near Alaska, but I guess I live somewhat near Alaska compared to other places. But I mean, yeah, that would be amazing.
Coax it out. Get it moving, Jake.
There we go. All right, first one going out.
Okay, take care.
All right, first one's deployed. Getting ready for the second one here. We do a little reset back to the center position.
Yeah, it takes about a minute for each one.
For each Pez.
Looks real smooth too. They made a couple of tweaks to those rails.
I like it when the famous people are actually really nice
on the way out,
and human beings.
Moving out super clean this time.
Yeah, and as noted earlier in the show, but definitely worth repeating, Starship will
are
deploy
flatter than
Starlink's more
Pez.
advanced P3 satellites, adding 60 terabits per second of capacity to the network per launch. So that's 20 times more than each Falcon 9 launch does today. Just incredible.
Yeah, and anybody that's been following Starship, you know, Starlink's kind of the MVP for these flight tests, where it's not only giving us the views we're seeing right now, but also just real-time data.
Isn't this only the second time that we've done this?
We've got a couple dozen cameras on Starship. We've also got a bunch of cameras spread across the globe, including out in the Indian Ocean, where we've got our fun buoys floating. There goes another one.
Yes, the third time we've done it?
And I mean, we're using Starlink to bring all of this together. It's our drone shots you see here from our great team down here at Starbase, all connected. So Starlink not only giving us cool views off the planet, but also on the planet, help bring everybody along for all these Starships.
I mean, but is this the second, right? The last flight was the first one? Well, then maybe now they'll have more confidence.
That's number 4. Somebody
actually try it. Flight 10 did the first Pez. Okay, I thought so. So yeah,
we've
I
got
mean,
4 Starlink
I don't blame them for
on the outside of Starship. He uses that to talk to the constellation, and through that, we actually get about 120 megabits of bandwidth for our downlink. That's our real-time HD video, all of our telemetry. So it's
they'll have a Starlight on
but it's giving all that engineering data in real time, including
on one of the boats that's going to be going on that Amelia Earhart expedition that I just did
Starlink,
my last video about.
Powerful enough of a frequency that we're able to kind of punch through that and still get that live view. All right, next one out the door. There we go.
All right, yeah, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people around the world, many of who have never had connectivity before.
Article that I only have read.
Right. Today, Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets with over 7 million active customers and counting. To meet the global growing demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory over in Bastrop, Texas, which is just outside of Austin, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard.
I feel like it's something like that.
Yeah, and one thing to note about the satellite deploy is that they will be following the same suborbital trajectory of the ship. So these dummy sats will not be going in orbit. We do expect them to burn up on re-entry.
I mean, I will say, I feel like I am incredibly sheltered on my YouTube channel when it comes to that.
I promise one of these days we'll deploy in daylight.
When I get
but we're basically trading deploy in the dark so we get those re-entry
videos. I don't know what it is about those videos that people just are like very. I don't know. I don't want to say opinionated because that's not right, but yeah, people have their feels about it. I think there was one guy that I was like, whoa, about a comment. And honestly, the rest of it, I think people just really have their feelings about it. And also, people don't watch the whole video. Because a lot of times people were like, my favorite comment was like, well, why don't they just go look? Why don't they just go see if it's her plane? I was like, that's really what my video was about. Like, it's literally about the expedition. Go see if it's a plane. Based on these photos, like I don't know what to tell you. So I don't know. I think in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad.
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its payload door and continue to coast around Earth to the Indian Ocean. We still have a ton of major events to come today, including Raptor Relight at about T plus 37 minutes. That will be followed by atmospheric reentry and splashdown.
What are they cheering for right now?
So with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
Yeah, if you can hear us.
I like how they laugh afterwards. They're like, woo, that was a lot of enthusiasm.
All right, with that payload door closed, we're going to sit tight, enjoy the views, and enjoy the space jams. Again, we'll be back in just a few minutes for Raptor Relight and then head back for reentry.
Sweet. All right, I'm going to mute their music again. Both for you guys and for me. I did a tagger before there. I'm sure. Yeah. And also, I recognize that some people are not a fan of Tiger. And so I feel like as soon as I even mentioned their name at all, people were like, I'm out. This video is nonsense. So yeah, I don't know. But I'm honestly just really happy the video's gotten as many views as it has. And, there's a lot of new people who've come to my channel because of it. And yeah, I mean, again, for the most part, people are pretty nice. But yeah, I guess I think I dabbled in some very low-key YouTube trolls in that one. Oh, is that what they were cheering for? Okay. I mean, yeah, some of those people feel like they've maybe been at the bar earlier, and now they're like, woo. Just checking in to see what they're. If it's still music, okay. I think it's still music. Oh wait, yes, okay. When I'm done this, I have to go finish editing tomorrow's video, which will be an update on Artemis 2. I don't know if you guys saw that NASA did a press conference like 2 weeks ago now or something like that, where they have possibly pushed the date for Artemis 2 launch earlier than what they thought, which kind of blew my mind because nothing is ever pushed earlier when it comes to NASA. So anyway, so I'm making a video about that and a couple of other Artemis 2 updates because that's going to happen sooner than we think, you guys. And then we'll be sitting here watching a launch with people on it. It's going to be crazy. So crazy. Okay, yeah, I will. I'll definitely keep clicking back and see if they're going to talk. I think she said maybe like at the 36-minute mark. Okay, it's still music right now. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, and also I talk a little bit about how people are sort of like Artemis 2. I think I've made 1 or 2 videos already about Artemis 2, and I definitely got some people that were like, blah, 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 not the one where we land on the moon. Nobody cares. Like, no, you guys, actually a really interesting mission for a couple of reasons, which I will do gentle reminders of in my video. But I'm excited for it. And it's the fact that it could happen sooner than we think, I'm like, what? Nothing happened sooner. See what they were trying. Yes, you are correct. That is what they were. That was their or no earlier then, but nobody had, I think the last I heard it was like April, May. But I guess some of their ground testing has gone really well. And I think they have to finish up something with the Orion spacecraft. And then they're like, yeah, we're basically ready. So and I mean, when were those Artemis 2 astronauts announced? Like ages ago, right? I feel like those guys have been sitting around in their flight suits for like 2.5 years. So they're like, please. Watching some test runs on the JAXA. And JAXA has a launch coming up, right? Am I crazy? I feel like they have a launch coming up. I mean, I don't want to just tell you guys my video now, but yes, they address that, the heat shield and lessons they have learned from the heat shields and modifications they've made since Artemis 1, because that was sort of like the only thing about Artemis 1 that was not like a big success. So, but yeah, but I get your point. And, anytime we put people on these, what do we call them? On these explosions into space, there's no risk. So, yeah. That globe view is an interesting perspective. So many of these shots, just incredible. An uncrewed test. Yeah, I see what you mean, Stephen. And I think Danny agrees with you. Yeah. But it's interesting. So a lot of what they're doing is a lot of testing specifically with the astronauts working on the Orion spacecraft and basically having to do a bunch of crazy maneuvers while it's in orbit. Oh, are we back? To sort of test out what its capabilities are. And they need a crew to do those tests. Anyway, I feel like I'm just saying my whole video right now. But anyway, tomorrow it'll be out and we can talk about it then in the comments. It is still music, but I'm going to turn it back on because I feel like it's about to not be music in a second. Unless this is annoying to you guys. Is this music annoying? I can mute it. I feel like this is the music they use in their trailer. Do you guys remember the aggressive SpaceX? Was it SpaceX Starship trailer? I think so. They're ultra aggressive trailer. I feel like this music was in it. Guys, I'm pressing buttons. Hang on. Something might... Oh! They've changed some things on StreamYard, so I'm just glancing around and pushing things. Welcome, everyone. Okay, make that go away. Stop that. Okay. Those other tests are for sure. Fortunately, the SL is only capable of launching tiers, which means they have to get too aggressive with their choices. So you're super nervous, Steven? You're like, don't do it or don't do it now. Like Artemis 3 should be the first crewed one. And then Artemis 4 is the one we'd be landing on the moon. European service modules varies and takes continue as an independent mission after disconnects from Orion. And also, obviously, for Artemis 3, Starship is the HLS system. So, like, you know, before we can kind of announce anything for Artemis 3, it's like, oh, okay, Starship, we gotta get it going, because I think they have that projected now into like late 2027. And even some people are like, that's very ambitious. Are these the dots?
All right, welcome
back,
Did you guys just
everyone.
See
dots?
If you're just joining us,
are these
you
the
did
tiles?
miss some exciting
Maybe
stuff.
these were just the tiles.
The Starship successfully deployed
earlier.
its second ever payload, 8 Starlink simulator satellites. And now we're expecting the relight of a single sea-level Raptor engine in space coming up here just after T plus 37 minutes. So about a minute left to go.
Yep, just a little while. I think we're tracking to 37 in around 49 seconds or so. So we should be just about a minute and a half where, again, as Amanda just said, we're going to relight one of those center engines. This will be the third time that we've tried this. We did it successfully back on Flight 10, and then we did it for the very first time back on Flight 6. This is not a deorbit burn. This is demonstrating essentially all of the systems you would need to do a deorbit burn. So that's obviously your Raptor engine, and then also your header tanks, your smaller tanks.
I'd be curious to see what you say, what you think in the comments of the video tomorrow, Stephen. Let me know.
More easily pressurized container, which we can use for on-orbit burns. We're also going to tap into those.
Yeah, I thought I saw like circular dots,
so
but maybe
this will be a critical capability. Once we go to full orbital missions, you'll have to do a deorbit burn to break out of orbit, send it back down to Earth. But in this instance, we're already on our way back down towards Earth. So this is just going to demonstrate the capability.
Yeah, please do. I'd like to know.
Engines on. We should be coming up in just about 20 seconds or so, looking for one of those Raptor engines to turn back on. They've been off since we completed that successful ascent burn almost 30 minutes ago. Here we go.
All right, come on, little engines.
And shut down.
All right, there was that Raptor relight. Looks like engine 3, full duration. As Dan mentioned, that's a third attempt, and we just did it 3 times in a row. So congrats to the team, the ship team, Raptor team. And then there we heard nominal second orbital insertion. All right, so congrats everyone on the milestone. That was awesome to see. We're 3 for 3. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back for re-entry at about T plus 45 minutes. We'll see you soon.
See ya. Like, back to the DJ set, guys. Okay, I'm gonna switch this music off for a second. Again, unless you guys love it, I'm gonna switch it off for you guys and switch it off for me. Even though the music and these images are very hypnotic in this weird pinky, purpley, hazy. It's like uh-oh, stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with us. Music for a Martian breakdancer. There's definitely like a rave situation happening. Just saw some sort of debris float around. Did you? Oh, I didn't see that. I feel like you guys always see things that I don't. Too busy yapping. Just don't want to lose the cameras. Don't lose the cameras. Yeah, let me just click on them and see if I can hear them. Okay, it's still music. Debris was minimal. Yeah, last time it was like a mini explosion, right? It was like everything underneath was just like a shattered kind of vibe. What would not make it without Marion's encouragement? Well, as we all know, what was the one that I streamed 3 times? And I think that's where #NoScrubs was born from. Flight 5? Was it Flight 5 maybe? I mean, I tried. I was like, come on. They scrubbed that thing so many times. So I would like to think it's my encouragement, but sometimes my encouragement is just not enough, very shockingly. Matt, quiet, Matt. Nobody wishes to hear you. No explosions, except for the explosions we intend to happen. She gets better the closer to sunrise, about 19 minutes from now. Okay. I'm all for better pictures. That's half the reason I'm here. About 10 minutes? Okay. All right, well, I'm happy to stay on for another 10 if you guys are. Let me just click back into see if they're talking. No, it's still music. No cameras. No. Belly flop. Have you caught your breath from all your travels? A lot of fun to follow you around. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it definitely took me a little bit. I think when I started posting again, I think it was like 8 weeks or 9 weeks or something between my like, hey guys, stuff's gonna get crazy. I'm gonna go traveling to the very next like proper video I posted. It's like a long time to be off YouTube. And I know, but I was like doing shorts and doing vlogs on Patreon and stuff. But yeah, it was a lot. But it's kind of my favorite, if I'm being honest. Like I don't want to be like, oh, I'm a person who gets bored very easily, but like a little bit. Like I kind of like being on the go and doing different things. I mean, that's one of the reasons why specifically I like being an actor so much, is I like new set, new people, new story, new genre, new everything. And then, you know, you do that and then you kind of like on to the next. So I like my world changing quite a bit, even though I'm also kind of a homebody too. So I don't know. But it was really fun to just kind of go from filming to Thailand to, what did I do? To Thailand, to Montana. And then my sister had a premiere of her film here and I went to that. And then I was in South Carolina for a little bit. So I don't know. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a long way to answer your question, Stephen. Yeah, it was fun. This is just plasma interrupting the Starlink signal. Okay. because I get nervous. I get like PTSD of like glitchy cam, and then that standby sign that they have that I don't like, and then the announcement later. So I'm like, no glitchy, no glitchy. But look at this. Look how pretty this is. Hang on. Let me see if they're talking. No, it's just music, but it's extra space-tastic, guys. Listen. That's what it's going to be like in the future. All of our curated DJ sets while we watch things happen in space. Maybe. Oh, they're talking. Okay, hang on.
A critical phase of flight, and we need information on how the ship systems perform. Reentry is also extremely demanding portion of flight because we need the ship to scrub off all of the energy we used to launch the rocket.
And like every agency will have like their own
engines
playlist.
Plus the 6 engines on ship that we used to get up into space. We now are using aero braking essentially to scrub off all that energy. And of course, Starlink is a big part of this, giving us the views we have right now, and also letting us gather as much data as possible, which again is really the main reason why we do these flights. And the view we have right now is actually a really good example. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, we have some tiles on the leeward side of the flaps here, and we have some different mechanisms, some stud out, basically to see if these tiles will hang on. And we can see already here, it looks like we kept most of them, but I think I see a couple there that are no longer there. So the thermal team is definitely going to be digging into that and taking that data to help us iterate on V3.
So we might see more tiles flying away.
Us with one more path to collect data and help us rapidly iterate Starship's design.
And if the ship does manage to make it all the way to reentry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound. Reentry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or 5 miles per second. At those insanely high speeds, the spacecraft moving through the atmosphere creates a plasma field around the vehicle.
Yeah, and that blanket of plasma distorts communication frequencies, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication.
Hexagon, polka
All right, so big picture
here,
Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out. So that means we need to do a propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes, which is what our Dragon spacecraft uses, or a runway like
what Artemis uses.
Propulsive landing enables more rapid reusability.
Now, as the ship makes its way back to Earth, we should start hearing some callouts. When we hear entry max heating and entry max Q, that means the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads it will experience as it returns. So if it makes it through all of those, that's a pretty good sign that we're doing well.
Yeah, and we heard flaps have control of the vehicle now. Okay, there's a great shot there. You're starting to see the plasma build up. So we will hear a call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. Transonic refers to the period of flight where the velocities of airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. All right, a lot of numbers coming up here, but for reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most fly around Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85. which is 480 to 575 miles per hour, or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour. Right now, we're going a little over 26,000 kilometers per hour. So compare that to the airplane at 930. It's like pretty crazy how fast we're going here. All right, and after we hear the call out that Starship is transonic, we should hear the call out.
Transonic, what a great word.
Subsonic. Subsonic, of course, refers to the speed that is much less than the speed of sound. So at that point, the ship's velocity will be starting to slow down. And
I'm
we'll
like
be looking
hypnotized.
a little bit more like some
I know
of our
I should be
flights
talking,
from,
but I'm just hypnotized over
almost
here.
5 years ago.
Yeah, so re-entry so far is looking pretty good. You can see that plasma field. Also, again, with those missing tile experiments, especially, we're putting the ship through a lot today, but things are looking pretty good so far.
She can take it.
Yeah, we're looking good. I do want to remind people that we are pushing ship to the limits. We've done a lot of these missing tile tests. We did it back on Flight 10. Every time we do it, we throw something new and the ship makes it through. This time, we're really pushing it. We've removed these tiles in some of the spots that see the highest level of heating. And we remove tiles
I have
that
danced
have
the
zero
skies on
backup
laughter,
protection
silvered
underneath.
wings,
So
and
there's
plunged my
essentially
craft
just
through
bare
footless
steel.
halls of air. Who wrote that, kid?
It's one of the heat of
Unless you
re-entry.
wrote that. You didn't write that. Did you write that?
And so do not be surprised.
Is this a famous
if
poem
this
that I
is
should
not
know
a
and I don't
very
know?
smooth flight on the way down. But again, this is intentional. We are trying to find what are the limits for a ship. How resilient are we to these different issues that could pop up? If we lose a tile anywhere in the vehicle, we want to know what that ultimate impact is going to be. So we've got a couple missing. We had a bunch pulled over the primary fuel, the LOX tanks, everything. This one, we've got a tile missing right on top.
I like that a lot.
So that's going to see some of the highest temperatures
sort of
during this re-entry.
On my Amelia
There's just bare steel right underneath it.
Told
So
me that she
we're
was
going
a
to see if
terrible
Starships
pilot
were busting
and a
enough to pull
terrible
through that.
writer.
Also have some tiles
And I've got a
missing around the aft
poem
flaps,
that she wrote
specifically
in
on
my
the leading
room,
edge.
and I was
So
like,
again,
"Oh, come
we're
true,
getting a
sir."
really good look
I don't
right
know
at the
why
leading edge.
You're
That's
like, she was a
getting
horrible writer,
really
as well
intense
as being a bad
heating.
pilot.
So
but
again,
I was like,
gonna see if it
strongly
can make it
disagree.
through. See if all the flaps hold on. See if Starship holds together. But definitely could be a bumpy ride. But this is why we're flying. This is why we're flying in this part of the world. This is why we're putting Starship through these flight tests to really understand what its limits are. So we can then move on to the next thing, which is going to be bringing ships back to the launch site for a catch. But for now, still on this suborbital, the light show continuing. Keep following it in. I think we got about 15 minutes.
I believe it is written by this gentleman.
Yeah, Dan, it looks, you can see our speed our speed indicator in the bottom left there. It looks like we're starting to scrub off velocity a little bit quicker.
Ship is entering the peak heating phase of flight.
It sounds like it was written by a pilot. And Amelia's poem is amazing. It's the poem that she wrote about courage. I think maybe there's like a Venn diagram between poets and pilots.
Pass through 70 kilometers altitude.
Yeah, the sun's starting to come up again. There we go.
There we go.
Who said this sun would be amazing? Somebody said this. Pick, was this you?
Skirt is intact so far this time. If you watched Flight 10, you saw we entered with a little bit missing.
Up the long delirious burning blue. I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace.
We dumped
where never lark
on the
or
way.
even
We had a little bit of solid
flew.
propellant build
crushing,
up. And then,
Andrew.
Either static discharge or the plasma ignited it, took out a tiny bit of
crazy.
that skirt from the aft flaps.
Because it's long and hard to memorize. Did you have to memorize
fight through it, make it all the way to that landing burn. We addressed that, changed some of our prop dump con-ups.
I used to know all of.
Should not be seeing that this time around.
I think it's in there somewhere, but I'd really have to think hard to dig it out.
And as a reminder, in addition to these missing tile tests, we're doing kind of a unique flight on the way in. It's going to do what we call a banking maneuver. So while we're still going supersonic and even hypersonic, we're doing kind of a banking turn, and then we'll do a pretty aggressive turn right as we get into the subsonic and start doing our belly flop. And that's designed to essentially be the approach that we would do on a return to launch site and the tower catch. So Don't be surprised if we see the ship start to turn and make a few maneuvers as it makes its way down to the Indian. And fun fact, even though we're doing all this turning, we're essentially targeting the exact same spot in the Indian Ocean we went to last
time.
The
poem that you memorized is on your wall? Hey, AR. The pilot was only 19 when he wrote that? Is that true? You guys. That's amazing.
All right, just about 12 minutes to go. Still looking good. That gives a pretty good view of those aft flaps where, again,
that's cool.
On the leading edge, I think it might be on the one on the other side, we had some tiles removed with no backups behind it. So again, we're really trying to stress some of the most sensitive areas around Starship. Basically, if you lose a tile, it's the worst possible
another
spot.
We had to memorize in high school.
Amazing!
You guys went to awesome high schools.
That tells us quite a bit about just how resilient this vehicle is.
Yeah, I gotta read. I'll read the whole thing after the stream.
Yeah, and that shot we just had earlier was looking at what we call the business end of Starship with all the Raptor engines. And those are the engines that we're going to be expecting to light for that flip and landing burn, hopefully in about 10 minutes once we get through reentry. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, looking at E3, that's the one. It's the one we did the
this
relight
shot might
on.
Be one of my favorite shots.
It's guys. 2 for 2 so far. We'll see if it can go 3 for 3.
This might be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
You're related. Showing your age because you had to memorize poems in high school at a cool high school that you went to. I'd be super proud of that.
All right, we can see that speed just continue to bleed off.
Yeah, kind of.
Kilometers an hour. Ship still holding together.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who toil for gold.
Yeah, and if you look in the bottom right, looks like we've made it all the way to the Indian Ocean. We're coming up kind of near Australia, the west side of Australia there. So pretty crazy. We're only 56 minutes in.
There should be
we've
more
made
poetry
it all the way, halfway around the world.
I advocate strongly for it. But I'm an artsy-fartsy sort, guys. This would shock nobody.
It's actually a good demonstration of a future capability we hope to have on Starship where we will do point-to-point on Earth. So essentially travel anywhere in the world in about an hour or so, which is, going to be pretty crazy. Imagine going from New York to Sydney in 1 hour instead of the, 20 hours it takes currently.
A reminder, so this camera is
sometimes there's also
picking up a little bit.
Ones. Having spent
this camera is embedded right in the end of one of those forward flaps, so you see it moving around.
That's very hit or miss, I find.
Adjusting to maintain control. It's like we're getting into our bank maneuver.
$250,000 for a seat, $4,500 for a bag of peanuts. 4K
now power sliding through the atmosphere.
External temperatures are coming down.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Now that Jack said sprites, I can't unsee it. I'm just seeing sprites. I used to tell people he was my dad.
Vehicle is now at maximum dynamic pressure.
That was a lie. He's not my dad. No, I'm not related to him.
All right, that was basically our reverse max Qs. So most aerodynamic stress that it's going to see during reentry.
No,
we just passed
most
through
people
it.
don't really remember her, so people rarely ask me about her.
Ship's still holding together.
Not related to her either, and she and I don't pronounce our last names the same.
So we're currently in this bank maneuver. We're going to see it kind of roll over and do a pretty significant shift as we get down closer to the subsonic speeds.
Can we see it?
Yeah, and that bank maneuver that Dan's mentioning is all in part of us to learn about the guidance, navigation, and control for return to launch site missions. So in the near future, we're hoping to return the ship back to the same pad we just took off on 59 minutes ago. And we've got to do some of these pretty dynamic bankings to make that trajectory work out.
All right, the light show kind of calming down as we're starting to move into the lower parts of the atmosphere. We should hit transonic, so hitting that transition between moving faster than the speed of sound and below the speed of sound in just about 3.5 minutes. Our landing burn should happen right around an hour and 6 minutes after launch, so we should be just about 6 minutes away from that. You can see lots of daylight.
And then I forgot to point out.
Everybody cross your fingers, see if our range team was able to get out there and provide any surprise views as Starship makes its way down. Oh, it's like they
Come on! What? Wait, this is a ship cam. Okay. This is no buoy cam.
Ready and waiting. Let's go.
Which is also acceptable.
Dan, you just spoke that view into existence there. And again, all brought to us by Starlink.
Maneuver has started.
All right, there we go. So we're now starting into our really heavy bank maneuver. And this does almost like a half circle loop to our actual trajectory. We're heading to the same exact splashdown point, but we're kind of doing a more roundabout way to get there, where it's this kind of big, long half moon loop and then a really aggressive kind of twist right at the very end. And
really
line us up with the launch tower. Starship on a return to launch site would fly over the tower, do a quick landing burn flip, and then come down for catching the arms.
Meanwhile, on an unrelated
decal there,
just minding its own business, having no idea what's coming.
Good to see the numbers back on.
Yeah.
You guys are killing me tonight.
All right, should be hitting transonic in about 2.5 minutes. Landing flip coming up in about 4. Pretty clouds there in the Indian Ocean today. Again, yeah, we changed our launch times. We launch in the evening now, so we get these daytime views down in the Indian Ocean. One of the things we're really looking for, the reason we have the drone, other than, that looks really cool, is we're able to kind of see the ship. We can only see so much from these cameras. You can't see like the vast majority of the heat shield. So we throw these buoys out there. We've got there's...
You spoke it again, Dan.
Is that a buoy or is that camera on a jet ski?
They're playing with me in the control room. All right.
That's a
but we have
buoy,
we have these buoys out there. We have these drones that we're trying to see externally how the heat shield held up. Everybody saw from Flight 10, it had a little bit of a paint job, a little bit of a reddish hue. That was from those metallic tiles that we had tested. Kind of oxidizing really rapidly in that plasma and then spreading those little oxide particles all over the heat shield. No metal tiles on this flight, so not expecting to see that.
Dynamic pressure is coming down.
I'm glad you said it instead of me.
Hope nobody gets seasick. All right, coming up on transonic shortly. About 2.5 minutes of landing burn.
Yeah, and once we get to around the 15-kilometer altitude mark, that's where
Didn't
we have
it look
a lot
like
of
it was moving?
Starship
Is it just that it was so choppy?
Starting the belly flop phase of flight.
I mean, I'm sure you're right.
The belly flop phase that we perfected in the suborbital campaigns, we're entering that now.
It's starting to get those Raptors ready.
Time for
Should be
type 2
2 minutes away
civilization.
from
You think we're there? How do you?
landing burn. Again, we're going to do a flip. After we ignite those engines,
I don't know if
we'll
we're
go
quite
from
there.
3 down to 2 for the final phase of the landing burn and look for another soft splashdown. Hopefully,
small rafts with more cameras
by our
and
buoy and drone, which
okay.
are
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you're right. It was a
waiting for a
buoy,
ship.
but it felt like it was moving forward. But it's probably just the choppy water. We've got. Do you guys have Waymos? Where everyone lives? We've got a ton of them here in LA. So I'm like, driverless cars are like 10 a penny now. So
seeing all 3
driverless
center
jet
engines
skis
have entered the
are
chill
minutes
phase.
away, I feel.
All right, less than a minute to go.
The ship is making its turn for final approach.
And here's this kind of aggressive final turn that would essentially position it so it's right behind the launch and catch tower.
Yeah, really? That's amazing.
Flaps holding strong. Landing burn in just under 20 seconds.
But I prefer the car to drive itself, Stephen. That is my preference now. It's 2025. Come on.
Ship landing startup.
Holy smokes! Wow, this is aggressive. I'm not lying.
There's our landing burn. Three down to 2.
Starship has landed.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
As we said, we're not planning on recovering the ship today. Hey, welcome back to Earth, Starship. We are down
Wow.
in the Indian Ocean.
So many aggressive boys. Oh my goodness.
Let them here at Starbase. What a day. Oh.
One guy shaking the other guy.
All right.
Wow.
Welcome back to Earth, ship. What a day. A whole lot
Let's
more to
see how
go
you
through.
do,
As you just saw, everybody here at Starbase pretty hyped. Hey, Tyler, out of Hawthorne, how's everybody holding up?
Thank you, Dan. We had a fantastic time watching. It was another exciting Starship flight test in the books, and we hope that you enjoyed those Starlink views too. So congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees contribute to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that wraps it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you for tuning in, and back to you guys.
Yeah, what an incredible launch
Oh
today.
my God, boys, calm down.
Successful liftoff. Booster completed its objective, successfully splashed down over in the Gulf. Obviously, we saw another amazing Starlink deploy as well from ship.
Open table?
Yeah, we made it through that re-entry, testing all the different experience. We had missing tiles, gave us quite the light show. We had that Raptor relight 3 for 3. That was ahead of re-entry, of course. And then that awesome splashdown that we just saw, including that dynamic banking maneuver to simulate RTLS when we returned to the launch site.
So long,
so
and thanks
we
for all the
promised
fish.
maximum excitement, and Starship delivered.
Definitely.
Congrats to all our teammates at SpaceX and to everyone who's supporting the Starship program. And thank you to all our future customers for your support.
We'd also like to thank the fine people of Cameron County, including the residents of its newest city, Starbase, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the Government of Mexico, and the Australian Space Agency.
Yeah, be sure to follow SpaceX on X.
Like the bros in the background here
exciting
have been
views
drinking,
we didn't get to
right?
feature
Am I
on today's
wrong?
broadcast.
Are we really just
And if you're interested in more launch
coverage
coverage just like this, head over to spacex.com/launches for the most up-to-date information.
I mean, I have no doubt. I have zero doubts.
All right, I will take us out. Hey, congrats, Jake and Amanda. You guys did amazing. Great job. All right, today We launched the world's biggest rocket, knocked out all of our objectives. Shout outs to every single person who made this look easy. Thank you to everybody tuning in. We're going to see you back here for the very first flight of our next generation Starship. So we'll see you then. Good night.
Good night, Dan. Oh, you're welcome, Jack. Thanks for when he's on the feed a little too long. You can cut it now. Okay, any second. You can cut it at any second. I love it. I like this outro music too. Okay. Let me mute this. Both in your guys' ears and in mine. And then let me make myself a bit bigger. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that was fun, guys. What do you think? Are we happy? So what we expected? So what we thought was going to happen? Hang on. How do I make this go away? What are my options? Oh, wait. Remove. I remember how to do this. Get your comments. Ship exploding in Montepino as expected. There's still a bit of food. Yeah, every time it's landed in the Indian Ocean, it's gone boom, right? That was fun. Flight 60 to the moon. Yeah, this moon business is tricky, guys. It's real tricky. But I'm excited to see the next launch. I wonder what the next, if it's going to be, because, you know, they've been like, what, every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, something like that. So I wonder now in the V2, like, are we going to keep that kind of timeline, or I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to be. Well, that was awesome. Thanks for joining me, guys. It was fun to do live. I should do these more often and plan them accordingly more often. Because I always have a good time with you guys. It's more fun than watching it on my own and talking to myself, because I say some of the same things I say to you guys, I say to myself, and no, I'm by myself, Marion. No one can hear you. But thanks for joining me. I hope you guys catch the my video tomorrow's Tuesday, right? Yeah, tomorrow morning about Artemis 2. And I look forward to hearing your guys' thoughts about that. It's great send off minus the catch. You're welcome. No ships available left. You're welcome. Thanks, guys. Yeah, have a good night. I know. I think a couple people were like, you're doing this, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. Oh, okay, so it's going to be a minute. Yeah, people who would enjoy it as much as I do. Because, like, none of my friends really care about space the way that I do. Maybe, like, one, but, like, not really. None of my family really cares about it either, so it's fun. Be live stream after some of your videos. Oh, that's interesting. Like, post the video and then we do a live stream and talk about it? Like that? Is that what you mean? Bye, Shady. Thanks for stopping by. You're welcome, Pick. Okay. Let me. Oh, okay. Interesting idea. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll think about that. I've never thought about that. Bye, Danny from Denmark. Thanks for stopping by. Marion has 4,600 friends that care about space. Or is it 4,300? Oh my gosh, Marion, 4,300 that care about space and 300 that really care about Amelia Earhart? And maybe like a dozen that really care about Fiona? I feel like there's some sort of breakdown along those lines. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It was so good to see you all. And yeah, I'll talk to you. I'm going to premiere my, I almost said film. I'm going to premiere my video tomorrow. So I'll see you guys in the chat then. And yeah, have a good night, everyone.